I wonder if you could start by discussing Kyle's day overall, not just as a runner, but he certainly got you going earlier with the passing game.
Yeah, proud of Kyle. He did a great job today. And, as we came into the season, that's kind of what we envisioned. That's kind of the offense that we want to run with Kyle. We're getting, I think he only had 13 carries, but 130 yards. And maybe a couple of those were sacks, but threw the ball well. We never once said the only thing we're going to do is run him. We're going to run our offense. And he threw the ball. He threw some really great balls. I mean, the one to Javion Griffin was a fantastic catch, but a great throw too. He had to put it there, and Javion came down with it.
Coach, do you think if you win next week, you're in the playoffs
Yes.
based on just being hot at the end of the season, based on quality wins at the end of the season? Is there some sort of criteria that comes to mind?
Well, you know what, and you talk about the right now the playoffs are the last thing on our minds. It's Capital Cup and the CAA championship. That's it. And we got to beat a really good team in William and Mary to get that accomplished. Whatever happens after that happens. Again, I don't know. I'm not the committee, but we sure do want to. We sure do want to win a championship, and we want to bring the Capital Cup back. William Mary's going to be really good. They ain't giving it to us. It's not like we're going to walk down there and they hand it to us. I mean, it is going to be a game that comes down to the wire. They got good players. They're well coached. So, we're going to have to prepare and work really hard this week. But the only thing on our minds right now is the Capital Cup and a CA championship.
Did Aaron Trussler take off on his own, or was that preordained?
Well, we practiced that this week quite a bit, but he actually did take off on his own. But actually, we had said when we call it, he had that opportunity. We did not call it in that situation, but it was actually identical to what we had practiced and what we wanted to do to that. So give him a lot of credit, man. He's got a lot of guts about him. He's a good player for us, and he got a critical first down for us and then a 15-yard penalty on top of it. So, you tell guys to go out there and make plays. And he's a really bright kid, an excellent player for us. And, he saw it. We practiced it. He knew where to go, and it was there.
When the season started, the two primary questions were your quarterback and your wide receivers. Obviously, they both contributed a great deal today. I wonder if you could talk about how far those groups have come.
Absolutely. We've gotten so much better at wideout. Our wideout room is really, really good right now. We've got 6 maybe that are legit, that are fighting for playing time. Winston's done a fantastic job with those guys. They're well coached. And so really, really proud of that group of guys. Any one of them can make a play. And you've seen throughout the year, Nick's been great all year, obviously, but anybody can step up in that room and go make a play for us. And we've had that from them this year. So, one that was a little question mark coming in has turned into a huge positive for us.
Hey, lastly, could you share your thoughts on the progression of Winston as a offensive coordinator who calls the plays?
He's doing a great job. The whole offensive staff's doing a great job. I'm proud of that whole group there. They're organized. They work hard. I think he made some really great calls. To be a great play caller, you got to make some gutsy calls, man. And he wasn't afraid. He ain't afraid to make some gutsy calls. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But you have to keep people on their heels. And so really, I think between him and Adam Ross, those two guys are doing an incredible job. And the rest of the staff, I mean, their positions are coached up well. Justin Poindexter's running backs are always playing well, doing what they're supposed to do. Our tight ends are playing well. So really, I'm pleased with where we are with that group. And, we put up 38 points on a pretty good defense here.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Is that it?
Hey, Coach, just a quick question since most of my bases are covered. I just wanted to ask about, any play calling differences from first half to the second, because, there was a lot more ground game going on in the second. Was that just to protect the 28-7 lead you guys had built up?
Yeah, we actually didn't talk about it, but you're absolutely right. I mean that's in the second half you got that lead. Can you get first downs? Can you run some time off the clock? But that was never discussed until about the fourth quarter, with about 6 minutes and something to go, and then we made the decision. All right, we're going to run the ball every time. But when you got a quarterback that can run it like Kyle, I mean, it makes life a lot easier.
Spiders look refreshed. Did you feel refreshed based on the off weekend?
Absolutely. Just being able to, go out there and take care of our bodies, do cold tub stretching, taking a couple of days off, going 8 to 9 weeks straight is pretty tough, especially with you can even count the camp weeks before that. So very, very needed.
Phoenix torched Delaware last week, mostly with the passing game. How much of an emphasis was getting on that quarterback and not allowing him to have a lot of time to look for his receivers?
Yeah, that was something that we harped on all week. We know that they like to take a lot of shots, and they relied on the run game as well. So we were able to stop the run, and then when it got to pass, just making sure that we didn't give a clean pocket to the quarterback. That was something we talked about all week, just being prepared for those type of situations.
Could you share your thoughts on the strange journey from 2-3 to one game a win from at minimum sharing the championship of the league?
Yeah, I would say obviously during the beginning of the season, things didn't go as we planned, but obviously each side of the ball, offense and defense, were trying to figure themselves out, and defensively we just kept telling ourselves that, hey, we need to play better defense, and I think that's exactly what we've been doing. 5-game win streak now, and just how you looked at the defense been playing those last 5 weeks is definitely better than the first 5 weeks of the season.
That's it for me. I appreciate it.
Hey, great game. Scott Valentine writing for the Collegian. I'd just like to ask to what degree the conference standings have played in sort of motivating you guys for each game, especially as of late.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the season, every team has their goals, and our goal was CAA conference championship. We're trying to get a ring, especially for the older guys that have been here for so many years. That was our biggest goal. So, every single week, we're looking at, hey, like where we stand and stuff like that. So, going into this game, we knew that was very important that we won. So we were just really focused on winning, doing whatever we could. Obviously, that extra bye week help to be able to prepare. So it's very important, just knowing where we're standing and everything.
Could you talk first about some of the contested catches your guys made, and then the one-hander by Javion that sort of set up the early scores?
Yeah, they come out hot. We got a really good receiving core, and they've just improved this year tremendously. And to have the confidence to, if they're even, put it up there for them, let them make a play, and they made those plays all day today. Those guys have been grinding with Coach O at practice and they have those drills. Every single catch you've seen them make today, they have those drills that they do in practice. So, they're just executing what they've been doing at practice, and now you get to see it in the game.
Would you share your thoughts on if there was a emphasis on the quarterback run today from Richmond?
We didn't really have an emphasis on the quarterback run. I think Coach O does a great job of seeing what the defense is doing and how can we attack them from there. So we came out early, we're hitting them with the passes, and then we started to run the ball, and then they started to key that. So it's like, all right, let's do the Q run, and that's kind of the progression that we went through today. So I think it's just really our offense realizing what we need called in order to move the football.
One game for a championship, which seems kind of odd given where you were in September. Could you discuss your path to this point?
Yeah, man, the resiliency of this team is just it's something I'll never forget. It's taught me lessons, just about everything in life, to be honest with you. How you can just be, in the dirt, in the mud, stuck, and then just find a way to pull yourself out. And that's exactly what this team is doing. And to, be in the same position really that we were in last year coming into this game, where we get to compete for CAA championship, is just awesome. And all the doubters would have counted us out in September. So it's awesome to be in this situation, and we are pumped up for it.
How about your progression individually from the opener to now, and how you feel about the way you play compared to how you were playing in September?
Yeah, I felt like in September, I was definitely new. I was still figuring things out. I probably wasn't as aggressive as I could have been. But I think just working with the offense more, and working with Coach O more, and just having like an actual season and going into games with him, and learning from him, and learning from the people around me. That's what we needed. We just needed a little bit more experience, and just getting to know each other. And and now you can see that we're firing at the right time now. So everything happens for a reason. Coach O always says he doesn't believe in coincidences. So for us to be firing at this point is a really good sign, and we figured it out.
Hey Kyle, just want to ask about any special preparation that went into this game. One of the top teams in the conference, and yet you guys at the half were on par for the highest total yardage, I think, of the season. So anything, of course, taking into account the bye week, that went into that?
I wouldn't say it was anything special prep. I would say one of the reasons why we came out really crisp today is that we had a week to actually work on ourselves for once and stop worrying about another team. So we got to take a look in the mirror and see, hey, what do we need to improve on? So we got to practice those things for 3 practices, and then start to prepare for Elon. And I'm sure we had a little bit extra time to game plan for them, but yeah, I think that it's us executing our plays better, which is how we were able to perform so well today.
All right, and how are you guys going to keep that ball rolling against William and Mary with a tighter turnaround?
Yeah, it's going to be a hard fought game. Every single year that I've been here, William and Mary game has always been awesome, and to go their stadium is going to be so much fun. They always bring a good crowd. They got great players on their team. They got a great coach, so it's going to be fun to compete against them and their stadium this year, and to be playing a meaningful game, not that the Capital Cup's not, but a chance to win a championship just even adds on to that.